Today, we're gonna build some tiny houses for some occults. And this is the part 2 of the series. And in part 1, we built a house for a mermaid and the spellcaster. And today, we're gonna tackle on these two houses over here. And to decide our occults for these tiny houses, we are of course gonna use our good old spinny wheel right here. And these are the occults that we have left. We have the vampire, the alien, the fairy, the ghost, the werewolf, the imaginary friend, the servo, the plant sim, the skeleton, and the unicorn. Yes, all occults in the Sims 4. Some are questionable occults, but they're still occults in my mind because it was on the list. Yeah. So let's start, shall we? We freaking shall. So let's spin for that. 1, 2, 3, spin away. Ooh. Oh, fairy or ghost? Fairy or ghost? Oh, it's gonna be a ghost. Oh, what are we gonna do? A ghost. Interesting. I mean, my first thought is to make sort of a haunted house. You know, ghosts, haunted houses, hand in hand. We could also make it very worn and torn, like nobody has lived there for years. Make it a little bit shabby, but also a little bit mysterious. Maybe a little bit friendly. It's gonna be a friendly ghost. That's my notes for this build. Okay, so what type of roof are we gonna go for? What am I feeling? Haunted house roof, spooky, scary skeletons. Maybe like a spiky roof. Hold on, what if we get up a gabled roof? And then we're gonna do a little shift C. Where did I go? Okay, shift C and take it up a little bit. Take the sides in a little bit. I gotta maneuver it some more. And I have maneuvered it and it's looking like this right now. I'm kind of liking the vibe. Let's see how it looks with the wallpaper. What type of wallpaper do we want? I mean, shabby would be a great start. What about something like this from the horse ranch pack? I mean, yeah, it could totally be a vibe. Oh, and it's black and white, just like a ghost. That's how ghosts are in my mind, black and white. And by the way, do we want to make some shapes to this, like we did with the spellcaster house? Maybe we can do that, just to get some variation, you know? We can maybe pop on one in the middle. And do we pop a roof on that? No, I have a feeling that's gonna look weird. What if we instead make a little veranda? A veranda balcony, if I can find a fence. There we go. You know what? I think that could be lovely for us. And then for the doors and windows, what are we gonna go with? I mean, maybe life and death. There's some cool stuff. We can go with this one. That is shabby and scary. Then for the windows, I mean, these are more stony windows and we have a wooden house, so it wouldn't really make that much sense. But what if we go with these ones? Or this one? It's a little bit too small. But we can perhaps start with these windows. Let's see how that goes. Oh, and then on the side, we can have these ones because we won't see them that much. Sure, we can do that. And then do we want some columns, by the way, before I move on? I do think we do. Brighten up the place. Magical. Oh, and by the way, we need a window up there too. Can that work? No. It needs to be pointy. Do we have a pointy window? What about this one? Oh, that is a nice old pointy window. But they do not have it in black. What is that black? No, that's green. Is that black? Oh, it's brown. What? All right. I mean, from here, it does look black. So we're gonna have that window. Do not look too closely at it. Please, do not look too close at it. Oh, and by the way, I do now realize that I started on this house and not this house. Why did I? Okay, I don't know why I did that, but here we are. And you know what? I'm not gonna move all of this stuff over to this house. No. I'm new. But I'm gonna put it in the back door. Don't know where I want it yet, but it's there for now. And then for the details for this house. And I think people, if we could start off with some spiky roof details, because that's what every haunted house has. Beautiful. Oh, and then, of course, some holes in the roof. You need to forget about that, people. Really magnificent that was. All right, what more can we do? I mean, we can put up some vines, and I think we're gonna use the vampire vines because look at that. That is some ghostly vines, that and all. And I'm gonna put that all over the house, on each and every side, and also some other little details out there. As I ponder along, you know, gonna put up my sweet vines. And boom, shabalam, my vines are indeed up, and all of the sides is looking lovely, looking very dead, and I do really enjoy that. And you know what? I was kind of thinking, right here by these windows, we need something more. So what if we put up some more vines, sort of like thicker vines, and then we can put up these bars, just sort of like so, and also by the windows, because it's an old house, you know, it needs reinforcement. Those poor windows. And then for the windows, you could also put up some shutters, sort of like that, 2 of them on each of the windows. And then what if we use a tool mod and then just rotate them a little bit? So like -5, -2. Hey, oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. That gives us a very wonky vibe. That is very messy and mysterious, isn't it? Oh, okay. I'm happy with that. Then I also put up a dead plant and another dead plant that the ghosts forgot about. They were into planting a little bit and then that passion died. Anyways, we do also need a number sign for our houses. You're also gonna get one, but you're gonna get a scary one. Then what more can we have to make this place very abandoned? Like nobody lives there. Oh, what if we put some planks just over the door? This has been abandoned. We could have 2 of them, couldn't we? I feel like that could be a vibe, people. Hold on. Gotta get my tool mod. You know what? Yes, I like that. That is a vibe and a half. It's really abandoned, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Okay, I like that. Happy today. Happy with that. We are moving on. And you know, it also kind of makes sense because the ghosts, that's a hard word to say, they can just pass through the walls. They don't have to open the door. No, they just pass through it. And that's why they haven't taken off the planks. But alright, roll. Let's begin with the landscaping of this place. And what am I thinking for the landscaping? I am thinking a lot of rocks and boulders, some big old rocks, because we gotta hide up this big old dirt pile, you know? And it gotta look kind of scary, kind of dead. We could maybe, oh, that's a big old boulder. We could maybe start off with something like so, maybe. Then also pet it up with some werewolf rocks and stones. Sure, I like that color combo. We're gonna do that. I'm gonna put in my rocks. Maybe some plants too. And you gonna watch me do that right now? Am I doing good or not? Because I don't know. At this moment in time, I haven't started yet. What a conundrum. What am I yapping about? I'm gonna put up my rocks and my plants. Okay. And righty, I have put up the rocks and the plants around this whole build. And I also ate some lunch. So there's like a 85% chance that I have something in my teeth right now. I haven't checked. But alright, I put up all my rocks and look at this. Kinda happy with it. It was very difficult though, because we're at the edge of the lot here. So trying to put up big old rocks but edge of the lot, not a smart decision by me. Not smart at all. But I did it. Anyways, you know what else we also need for this place? We need a trash bin and a mailbox. And what would a ghostly ghoul have for a trash bin and a mailbox? Excellent questions indeed. Maybe something like so? That's kinda ominous and scary, isn't it? Yeah, okay, we're gonna have that. Enough for the trash bin. What about this one? Boom. Oh, and you know what else we can have? We can have this sign that says no ghosts allowed. And we are gonna put that in the trash bin. Because this ghost in question, he's been seeing that sign around and he's had enough. And he's putting it in the trash. And we can also have this urn for some reason. I don't know why, but we can have that. Beautiful. Look at that big old staircase. And what do we have left for the outside? Oh, we have the front yard and the backyard. And what are we gonna do for the front and the backyard, people? Okay, well, let's start with the front yard. What did I say in my last clip, by the way? I mean, that's the main problem when I record these videos, is that I record a clip, then I end the recording and take like a 10-minute break or something, and then I come back, and then I have no idea what I said in my last clip. But anyways, we're gonna have a dead old cow plant, or the undead cow plant, because they're a ghost. They need a cow plant that is also a ghost, and it's in season, people. Whoa! And then I think we could also have some graves, because what is a ghost without some graves? Nothing. These are his friends. Oh, and then over here we can also have a gnome, a ghastly ghostly gnome, because you know, this ghost is proud of who he is, and who he is a ghost. Boom, bam, bam, what a wonderful moment. That is a front yard and a half. Alright, let's begin on the backyard. And what shall we do over here? Ideas. Why am I in the toilets? I almost choked out of nowhere. I just took a breath in and I choked. I could have died right there. Oh my gosh, I could have become a ghost myself. But alright, what I was trying to say is we could put in an utedo. What is that in English? Out toilet, outside toilet, an outhouse, a steakhouse. Something like that. But we are gonna have one of those because nothing, and I mean nothing, is scarier than when you have to use an utedo in the middle of the night. That is scary. That's also gonna save us some space for the bathroom inside, so... Planning queen. Alright, what else are we gonna have in this backyard? Hold on. Alright, so I'm on the wiki page for the ghostly ghouls. And look at this. Wear carved pumpkins on their heads and float around with them. That's something that ghosts can do. So we're, of course, gonna put up a pumpkin carving station. Then we can also have a little table over there with a little pumpkin that I made. Oh, and they have a ghost pumpkin. Oh my gosh. Huge. That's what he made. This ghost has a lot of hobbies. What more can we have in this backyard? Oh, we can have a memorial table because this ghost, they've been dabbling in some different careers, dabbling in some different hobbies, because they have been a ghost for a while now and they're just missing their human life and they want to contribute to society. And then I'm also just gonna put up some random rocks everywhere and some plants so we can hide up the dirt edge right here that won't go away. And you know what I'm also gonna do? I'm gonna show you a little segment of me trying to say contribute and failing miserably a lot of times. So enjoy that. And they want to contribute, 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 and they want to contribute. Well, alright, I hope you enjoyed that. And I am done with the backyard. And it's looking lovely. We got our utedo, our carving pumpkin station, our memorial area. We also got a death flower over here. Because I thought that was fitting. Cute. Oh, I'm already starting to liking this ghost. That's what always happens. I get emotionally attached to the Sims. The non-existent Sims that's gonna live in these houses. But anyways, now we're gonna move on to the inside of this house. And we're gonna frickety first and foremost do the layout. Yes. So right, for this house, we need a bathroom, we need a kitchen, we need a dining room, we need a living room, we also need a bedroom. So I think the smartest move here is to put in the stairs first. And let's see, maybe we could have the stairs sort of like so. I mean, that's gonna be weird over here, but entrance. I think we can live with that. I think we can, and I think we will. Because then we can have a bathroom over here, then like a kitchen over there maybe, then a dining room situation in here, the living room situation over there. Okay, and then we can squeeze a bed and something on the top floor. I think that is a swell idea. We can do that idea. Wonderful, magical. And alright, what am I thinking for the wallpaper and flooring for this place? Extremely good questions. Now, as I said, I want it to be very shabby, kind of scary, kind of dark, but not too dark and scary because that is for the vampire, alright? So you gotta be somewhere in the middle, but shabby, but not too shabby either because that is for the werewolf. So what are we gonna do? Maybe this one. I mean, hey, it is shabby. It has that classical style to it. Not really, but sorta. And it isn't too dark either. I think I want most of this stuff to be kind of gray because ghosts, as we find out, is black and white. And when you mix those two together, we will get gray. That was wonderful convincing by Nora. I think we made our choice. And what are we gonna do for the kitchen? What do we want for the fridge? Oh, great questions, people. There are so many great questions today. Something shabby, something old. We could maybe go for this one from the workshop, Kittery Cattery. Or is that too shabby? I mean, no. I think that can work, actually. Because ghosts, as we all know, they love to fanoodle around with their electronics. So this ghost has been practicing his skills, his ghostly skills. And the result is that he has broken very many items. Just one of his many hobbies, you know. All right, what are we gonna do for the counter? I have been talking for way too long. What are we gonna do for the counter? I want it to be shabby again. What if we go with this one? Do they have that in black and white? Okay, you know what? We're gonna go with black and white. This one's kind of shabby. Fine enough for me. We're gonna do that. And now for the knickety knacks for the kitchen. I think we could squeeze in some cabinets if we try our very best. Sure, that might do. Not perfect, but after all, this is a ghost. And enough for the knickety knacks. Real old knickety knacks. What could we have? We can have some kitchen utensils, a candy jar, and also a little ghostly ghoul in the jar. That is kind of ominous and creepy, but let's not think about that. And yes, I know, this kitchen doesn't have a sink, and I'm also blocking off the only counter with my knickety knacks, but that's not my problem. Not today. Then also, on top of the fridge, we can have some creepy old hands, a little picture frame book, and what if we also have a telephone on top of the fridge? Because nobody calls him anymore. That is so sad. But I think it's important for the story. Oh no. That just made me immensely sad, but alright. Right here, that was gonna be the dining table. And you know what? You know what this place needs. Some spooky stuff. We can have this table over there with some bistro chairs and some essential knickety knacks. And then on this wall right here, I do want a great old picture collage moment. And the pictures are gonna be of his friends and family that has long gone past. But he still keeps them up. For the memories. And I am just making this story even sad about the second. I mean, right. But there you go. A beautiful picture collage of his friends and family. And also some pears. Shout out to my pears. And then over here for the living room situation, we're gonna go back to the spooky stuff. And we're gonna put in these chairs. It might be too on the nose. But again, this ghost is proud of who he is. And who he is a ghost. So, you know, we can also have some sacred candles on there. We can call his friends. I don't know. Oh, and oh my gosh, for the windows. For that curtain moment. Of course, we're gonna have these ones. It would be a crime if I didn't do that. And the Madam Mimsy on the wall. Wow, looking lovely, Mimsy. And then over by the entrance moment, we can have some cool stuff. Oh, what if we have this sign that the ghost stole from somewhere? He saw that sign and he was just like, you know what? I want that. I'm gonna start up a funeral business. I need one of them signs. He's also gonna get some boots, by the way, because why not? Oh, and then for the piece of resistance, people, we had to make this room really, really grimy and dirty. It would be a crime if we didn't do that, because this is an abandoned haunted home. We need all the grime that we can get. And I'm also gonna have some grime on the floor as well. Also some crack somewhere. Plus also a hole in the floor. Boom, bam, bam. Look at that. And I mean, come on. Look at this place. Oh, I love it. So grimy and gross. Look at the walls. Look at the floor. Gee. Even got some paw prints over here. Some dirty paw prints. And now on to the bathroom, people. We need to figure out this bathroom. And I have figured it out. Shabby flooring, shabby walls, make it grimy and gross. In this room, beautiful. And now, for the stuff in here, we need a shower. What type of shower do we want to get? What about this one? A little bit unconventional, but it is kind of shabby. I feel like a ghost would have that. And then for the sink, we can just use the vampire sink. Why not, you know? They're both undead people. Or are they people? Yes, they are people. Or at least they were humans. I'm gonna give them some soap, though. And some toothbrushes. Do ghosts need toothbrushes? I have no idea. But maybe he just keeps it as a memory. Oh, and of course, we do not need a toilet because we have a toilet out here. That's right. But we can't put this cabinet in here. I don't know if that fits in here style-wise, but maybe the ghost would like that. He bought something new. He's proud of that. We're gonna keep that. Alright, so that was the first floor of this build. We got our living room, we got our kitchen, the entryway, the dining room, and the grimy old bathroom. Bum, 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 bum. And now we're gonna move up to the second floor. And for the second floor, what do we want for the wallpaper up in here? I want something different because this is his bedroom. Ooh, what about this? Could that perhaps be a vibe? You know what? I like that. We're gonna keep that. I've decided. Good golly gosh. What do we want for the bed? I have no idea. Gotta be honest with you, I have no idea. We have this one, but we have already used that one for the spellcaster house. We can't use that again. We have that one, but that's too fancy. That is too vampire-y. No. Ooh, what about that one? That is kind of scary Mary when you think about it. Maybe we can just go for that one. And also the beautiful nighttime tables. Yes, we are gonna go for that one. Alright, and then on the nighttime tables, we need some lights. And you're probably thinking, okay, we can use some candles because ghosts and candles. But no, hear me out. Ghosts, they have a fascination for electricity. And therefore, we're gonna have an electric lamp. But it's still gonna be old-timey-ish. So how about this one? Boom, bam. And then for the other nickety knacks, I'm thinking we can have a dead old plant and some books in black and white. And then we can also have an alarm clock and also an hourglass. Because why not? They like them time. Yes, ghosts and time. There is something there, isn't it? Because their time has run out, but now they're living forever as a ghost. Maybe it's something along there. What more do we need? We need a dresser, so you're gonna get this one. And on that dresser, we're gonna have a TV and a radio, plus some other stuff. Because hear me out. He loves the electricity, and he is just practicing his ghostly abilities, alright? He needs it. Oh, and since we've also figured out that the ghosts like the time, he's gonna get a cuckoo clock and a grandfather's clock right over there. But actually, I have to see about the grandfather clock because we're gonna have a desk. So I have to see if we can fit in the grandfather clock or not. Gotta get this old computer, this pen, and maybe a tarot deck. Yeah, sure. Oh, and on the wall. Oh my gosh, you know what would be so cute? If on the wall we have some postcards from the places that the ghosts have been throughout his life. Oh, and that is so cute, actually. And then also just some grim propaganda. Yes. And as you can see, we have space for the grandfather clock. So you, my friend, my good old friend, you're going in there. And then right over here, we can squeeze something in. If I have this stool, I don't know why the ghost would have this stool, but he's gonna have this stool. And then we can just have a dead old plant on there with a random grave. I mean, yeah, sure. Can you walk past that? Yes, you can. You have a half tile. Good, we're in the clear. And what can we have over here? We need something there. Something cool. Something ghost-like. What about a crow? I think they would have a crow. Why not, you know? There you go. Your very own crow. And boom, bam, bam. The bedroom is done. Ooh, I'm loving it. I think he's so cute. I love this ghost. I've gotten an emotional attachment to him. He's a swell old guy. His name is Jerry. Jerry the ghost. And his likes are electricity, clocks, pumpkin carving, and memorial services. His dislikes is being alone and rude people. And he's very proud of who he is. Cute old ghost. Alright, boom, bam, bam. We are done with this house over here. Done with the first floor, the second floor, the whole outside, both the back and the front. Holy golly bee. And you know what that means? We are gonna start with this house right over here. And we're gonna spin for that right now. So my spinning wheel of pain, let it spin! Ooh. Oh, okay. Imaginary friend. I was kind of hoping that I didn't get this one. Because what are we gonna do for the imaginary friend? Hold on. Oh, now I got to think. I gotta think. On a Wednesday, no less. On a Wednesday, I gotta think. That's when I'm filming this, on a Wednesday. Now you know. Now you know all my secrets. But okay, so the imaginary friend came with adventure awaits. And they're these creepy little dolls that can come to life and become a child's imaginary friend. And they have their own personality and they look like this. Look at them scary old things. Especially this one. I've had nightmares about that one. But okay, we gotta do some mood boarding here. Imaginary friends. I'm thinking. They are meant for kids. So like they're a part of the kids' imagination. So kids' imagination, lots of colors. So first off, what I'm thinking for the outside is that we use the primary colors. Yellow, blue, and red. What if we start off with this one? Yellow wallpaper. And then we gotta make this kind of cartoonish, kind of a kid drawing. Oh yes, like how a kid would draw a house. Just a simple plain old kid drawing of a house. This might go wrong. What if we use these ones? And then just a blue old door, like this one? Okay, and what about the roof? What if we start with something like so, and then just have a gabled roof in front of that? Or, I think the classic kid drawing would be this type of style. Or actually, no, the classic kid drawing would just be this. But that is very boring though, isn't it? So we could go for that, but that looks ridiculous when it's a small old tiny house. So for that reason, I think maybe that one. A kid could draw that. They could. And then we gotta make the roof red. Yes. And then also put up some columns. That could be like the outline of the drawing of the house. Sure. sure. This is gonna be such an ugly house, but I'm here for it. Oh, and then we do need a window up there, a round or smaller window. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go for this one. It's a little bit too detailed for this build, but it is blue and it's small enough. So you take some, you give some. No, you get some, you lose some. What? Okay. I mean, that's a beautiful little house, isn't it? But alright, let's try to put up some details on this house. Not a lot, but a little bit. So how about a classical chimney on the roof? How is that looking? Looking okay. And then we could also put up some flowering pots by the windows. Alright. Looking good. With then maybe an awning. Sure. It's kind of charming, but also kind of ugly. What else can we put up? We can have a light, a doorbell, and of course, a number sign. Beautiful. I think that is actually all the details we can have for the house. Because again, childlike, cartoony. There you go. Well, alright, let's begin on the gardens, both the front garden and the back garden. And what type of fence do we want for this? This one? That is kind of childlike. And sure. Do we have some matching stairs for this? We have these ones. Do they have that in red? Oh, yes, they do. Or do we want that in yellow? Yeah, we want that in yellow. The vibes are here with that staircase. Beautiful. And then I'm also just going to put up the fence in the back here as well. Fence it all in. Real nice and good. And then for the stuff in the gardens, what are we going to have there? G or J? I mean, we need some sort of pathway, walkway. And I'm thinking in the mind of a child, of an imaginative friend, they would have something cool and funky. So how about a splish splash pad? I mean, it is imaginative, and that's what we need. Kind of ugly, but I'm going for it. This is going to be an ugly house. And what if over here we have a swing set? I'm sizing it down though, so it's probably not usable. But there you go. We can also have this little rug underneath there for some reason. But also maybe a little drink tray for the hot summer days. And what more do we need? Oh, we need some plants. And I'm going to be putting up my plants right now. And they're going to be colorful, kind of cute, kind of childlike. And just frame them in with some rocks. Sure, that's a good idea. And I'm going to do that idea. Boom, bam, bam, my beautiful plants. Wow, that's kind of cute. I'm liking that. I even put up this thingy-thingy. Wow, wow's all around. Alright, now for the backyard. What are we going to do for the backyard? We have this element slide. What if we just have that in the middle right here? For some reason. I mean, I would have that in my backyard if I could. I don't have a backyard, so sad times. And then over here, we can have a table. And on that table, oh, you best believe we're going to have some party stuff of some snacks and some drinks. Yes, cute. And maybe we can have this one over there. Sure. But there are also some balloons and some more balloons and some even more balloons on that wall. Beautiful. Magnificent. And then, ooh, the piece of resistance. Some string lights for our garden. Ooh la la. I need to size them down though with my tool mod. But don't you worry, because I did it all neat and nicely. Oh, cute. Alright. You know what it's time for right now? It is time for some planting. We're gonna have a great old planting moment over there. And I'm gonna have a fun old time with that. Yes. And my plants are indeed up. Got this funky old tree. Some cute old flowers. A birdhouse. Some stumps. I don't know. Some sunflowers. Some more flowers up here. And that is our cute old backyard, isn't it? Cute. Ooh. And now I do gotta figure out what we're gonna do with this hill. I'm not quite sure. We could put up some rocks, but I think that's gonna be too intense for this house. I'm not quite sure. I have to think about that. But in the meantime, while I think about that, we need to put up a mailbox and a trash bin. And what type of mailbox would they want? I mean, we could put up a cat, or the traditional one, or ooh, what about this one? The cute old one. We need to put that on something. What about a stick? Just a good old plank stick, like so, and then just drag it up there. How is that gonna be? I mean, it's gonna be like so. That is cute. I like that. Now for the trash bin, we can just have this one. Yeah, with also some stepping stones. And ooh, okay, I'm so unsure about that. What am I gonna do about the tail? Oh, I don't know. All right, well, you know what? Let's just figure out the layout of this house before we begin with the outside, because I'm so confused. So right there, we need a living room, we need a kitchen, we need a dining room, bedroom, bathroom, you know. So, ooh, what if you have the stairs right there? And then we can divide this house up a little bit. So what if like this is the kitchen and this is the living room? Because a kid would want a bigger living room than a kitchen. They don't care about the kitchen. So dining, kitchen, living room. Then on the top floor, that's gonna be the bedroom. And then we can also just like squeeze in the bathroom there somewhere. Sounds like a plan. That's a good old plan. We are gonna do that plan. Boom, boom. Beautiful. All right, now now we're back outside and I really do gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. Maybe I can put up some plants and I'm gonna put up some roof plants, because with the roof plants, or the plants that you can put on the roof, you can actually rotate them with tool mod this way. Look at that. You couldn't do that before, that's for sure. You can do it now, and that means that I can do it now. And should I do it now? Maybe I am gonna do that. Oh, that's gonna take me such a long time. Actually, do I really want to do that? I'm contemplating my life here. Okay, we are gonna do that. Yes, we are gonna do that. I've decided we are gonna do that. I'm gonna put up all the roof plants that I can, and I'm hoping for the best. And maybe also some rocks to add in there. I don't know. We shall see though. We shall see. And my golly gosh, look at all them plants. I used so much time on that. So much time. It was so difficult, but I put up a lot of plants. It's a little bit more messy than I wanted to, but again, I had to hide up that freaking Raggedy Hill. But yeah, here's the back too. I also put in some rocks, some good old rocks. Look at this place. Oh my gosh, I have used way too much time on that. Anyways, let's just move on inside. And what are we gonna do for the inside? I mean, kid-like, kid-core, Oh, what about this couch? We have that in the good color. Oh, I like that color. What if we use this couch for the living room? Then we just need some wallpaper and flooring to match that couch. So what can we do about that? I mean, we could maybe try out some patchwork stuff. We can have some light blue walls and also some yellow walls. Maybe an orange wall. Something like so. I mean, that's a plan, isn't it? Sure, wonderful idea by Nora. What about the TV? Oh, we can have this one. Every kid would dream about having that. Yes. And then by the couch, we can also have a little table. And on that table, we are just, gonna have some good old naked snacks on that. And maybe for this room, we can also have some poofs. Just kids love that. And what about the rugs? I mean, we can make like a rug patchy moment. A rug patchy moment. What am I on about? We're gonna stack some rugs, make some patchwork art. Sort of like so. Yeah. We're gonna do that. And then for the curtains, what are we gonna do for the curtains? We could have that. Oh, that's too much. What if we try this? That could maybe work. Oh, this is ugly. I don't know about this one. What if I put up some string lights? String lights, they fix everything. I mean, did that fix the situation? I don't know. We can have that one that matches with the couch. Maybe a shelf up there. And a dinosaur. How about that, people? I'm gonna make these rooms a little bit messy, actually. This is a house from a kid's imagination. So I feel like they would have some random old stuff. Like so. Oh, and then for the welcome mat. We can have this one. That is cute, though. I like that. We can have that. Then we can have this mirror. Some cute old little stuff on that. Cute. That's a living room, for sure. Don't know if I like that living room, but it is a living room. So you should all be very happy. Boom. Let's move on to the kitchen and dining. And for the kitchen and dining, oh, this is gonna be tight of a squeeze of a kitchen. Well, we're gonna keep up with the patchwork stuff that we are for sure indeed gonna do. Oh, so actually, I had an idea. Since this is, from a kid's imagination, and kids, they can't really make their own food unsupervised. That would be real scary, Mary. So what if instead of a stove in the fridge, we put in a mini fridge and a microwave, a cleaner microwave. There we go. And also, instead of a table, because, kids, they don't care where they eat. They could eat on the floor if they wanted to. They're happy either way. So we're just gonna have a good old island table. Righty-o. And then for the naked snacks, we got to put up our kitchen naked snacks. What am I thinking for that? I have no idea. We could put up some jars and stuff. Some good old jars. And that's kind of what I did. Put up some jars and that thing, whatever that is. Put up some mugs, some hand soap, and maybe we could have a trash bin over there with an old telephone for some reason and a hand towel. Boom. Nothing is matching. Loving it. And then, of course, we can have some more string lights. Hey, with this one. Cute. Oh, what are we gonna have in that corner over there, by the way? Patchwork, acorn. I don't know. Oh, what about this one? It's kind of cute and colorful. Then we can have some very random knickety knacks on that. Some toys and whatnot. Let's see what I shall find. Nora is in the searching mode. And this is what she found, actually. Got some cute old stuff up in there. What a kitchen this was, indeed. Wow. All right, let's move upstairs. And for the upstairs, that was gonna be the bedroom and the bathroom. So first of all, we're gonna have a bunk bed. So you can maybe try with this one. Do we have that in a good color? Ooh, that is a good color. I have decided that is a good color. We can have this carpet. Do we want to do something funky with the carpet? Maybe something like so? What am I doing? I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. But I'm making something. It's the patchwork style. All right, let's just put in a desk underneath there for our good old kid. Imaginary friend, And what would imaginary friend have on that desk? Great question. Maybe they would want some arts and crafts stuff. I feel like that's what they would want. We could also have a cute old sheep. Put some boxes underneath there. Oh. Then we could have some teddy bears and a nightlight because the imaginary friend still afraid of them monsters. Even though they are kind of a monster themselves. A friendly monster. Some of them. And the rest is nude. I know. What can we have in the middle right there? I want it to be something pink to match with the color theme of that wall. Each wall is gonna have their own color theme. I have thought of in my head. What about this? I mean, yeah, sure. That was wonderful. What more do we need for this room? We need a dresser situation. And what dress are we gonna get for them? This one? I mean, that is very obnoxious. But it fits in. Come on, it fits in. It's only right. My dresser fits in. Je knew that was indeed a very cute and lovely movement. What else can we have in this room? Maybe we can have some sort of dollhouse situation over there. Ooh. And what about one of them new teddy bears in that corner? You can't reach it, but maybe that's a good thing that you can't reach it. Because that is a creepy old guy, isn't it? Okay, just gonna keep on decorating. This is my green wall, as you can see. Is my blue and orange wall. I am on the theme, people. But right on this wall, the yellow and pink wall, we could have some shelves. And on those shelves, what could we have? What about... What about this one? Lop it on there. A little fairy teddy bear. And then on this shelf, para rocket into the sky. Yes, that was a wonderful moment. But alright, now for the bathroom. What do we want for the bathroom? We could go with some yellow tiles for the floor, and for the walls, green tiles. The greenness of green. And then for our amenities, we could keep on with the green theme. Also plop in a toilet right in there. And then there's a good old sink in red. Just why not? I mean, that's not a very childlike meta, but it fit in with the color theme. And then we're gonna have some corals. Because we are under the sea. Under the sea. By the way, I've completely lost my marbles. Like for real. After the planting for this house, the gajillion plants, I have actually just lost me marbles. Can't say anything else than that. I have. But right, in the shower we can have this one, and maybe we can squeeze in one of these over there. I don't know if that's gonna work, but you are gonna have that one. Oh, and then we also gonna have another bath mat in there. Hold on. Oh, we can have this one, the cat, just peeking from underneath the sink. Yes. We can also have a turtle peeking up from the shower, and also some messy old towels, and some more decals. What do we want for the last decal? Oh, that cat. That cat is kind of cute. Yeah, we can have that. Beautiful cat, beautiful bathroom. No one could ask for more. And with that, the second floor is completely and finally done. Look at this room. This big old bedroom with a bed over there, and this shebang and over there with the bathroom. And also the first floor is done. We got the outside, both the back and the front. We are done, people. We are done with the house. What a house it was for our good old imaginary friend who's floating up in the air out here. All right, well, okay. And now I have been thinking we need to do the rest of the stuff out here, because they can't just be houses in the middle of nowhere with nothing happening around here. We need to figure that out. But I have actually decided that this is not going to be the end of this series. No. We are gonna squeeze in some more tiny houses onto this lot or another lot. And for that reason, I'm not gonna do anything to the rest of the area. I'm not, because that will be a waste of time. And Nora does not waste time. Never. But anyways, you know what it's time for right now? Oh, it's time for a house tour. So strap yourself in, because the house tour is happening now. And we're gonna start it all off with this house right over here. The tiny house for a little ghostly ghoul. Look at that exterior and the landscaping and all the rocks. Oh gee, I truly got no words. We also got the backyard over here with our utedo, and there are many great activities. And then back to the front here, the front of our house, with our squiggly shutters and our blocked off door. And we also got a cow plant and a gnome. Life is good. All right, let's step on inside this house once and for all. Ooh, hey ho. It is a beautiful tiny house. With our kitchen and our living room. I mean, oh my gosh, it is so grimy and gross in here. Look at our entrance moment with our boots. We got a dining nook with our picture collage, and also our very teeny tiny bathroom, all squeezed in there. Beautiful. All right, where am I? There we go. Let's step on upstairs. Our bedroom. Got a crow over there, and boom, our bedroom. Oh, I like this so much. Let's do a fish eye. That was beautiful. We got this corner up here with our desk movement and our many electronics. Look at the that's a scary old bedroom. What a goose. Okay, let's move over to our other house. The house for our imaginary friend. With a very cartoony style. And the landscaping that took me ages. I almost lost my marbles, and I kinda did. But ooh, got a front yard over here. And also our backyard with our many plants. And come on, this is a cute old backyard. Imagine just sitting on the slide, looking at all the plants and the scary neighbor house. And you know what? I just thought about this. The imaginary friend and the ghost, they must absolutely hate each other, because look at the difference between the houses. I mean, my gosh. But you know, let's step on inside our good old house. And whoa, it is the living room with our good old TV, projector thingy-thing, at the entry moment. And then we have our cute old kitchen, and that is a cute old kitchen. Look at that. Whoa. And then with this beautiful wall. And that moment over there. Cute. And then if we go upstairs, we shall find the bedroom. Whoa. So we got the bed area over here, and then the rest of the room. Whoa. With the dresser and the toy area with that creepy old guy. You know what? That is a cute old bedroom. And I now realize that I put carpet in the ceiling. I did not mean to do that. I'm gonna change that later. I'm so sorry. But for the bathroom, we have a bathroom. Could you even ask for more? No. And oh my gosh, we had a vampire. We can't see ourselves in the bed. Did you know? Bathroom. What happened to my curtain? Gee, you gotta fix that too. But okay, that was indeed both of the houses. And here is a little overview. We got the second floor and the first floor and the basement. Got some rocks down there. Don't tell anybody. Great, mates. And now the house tour is done, and it is time for the outro. And hey ho ho, this is the outro. Boom, boom. If you want to download this build, you can't right now, because we're gonna continue the series. And then yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, because it really does help me out. So thank you. But only if you want to. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.